This presentation is going to explain what the atomic radius is. And one of the things that students often trip over the most is that atomic radius has other names. You can have, it can be listed as the atomic radius, as you see there. It can be the atomic radii. If you're talking about more than one, that's the plural. You will see atomic size as another way of naming it, but they all mean the same thing. The atomic radius is basically the distance between two neighboring atoms, and is half of that distance. So if you look at this diagram here, we have hydrogen gas, which is H2, and H2 is, there's two hydrogens bonded together, and if you go from the nucleus of one to the nucleus of the other, that is the diameter between the two, and then the radius is just half of that distance. You're not able to essentially measure the outer edge of the atom because the electrons are moving, and so you can't definitely say, okay, the atom ends exactly here. But when you have two atoms combined together, you can see how far apart their nuclei are. So you measure the distance of the two nuclei and divide it by 2, and then that is a value that's given as a numeric value. And so you might see something like 432 picometers for an atomic radius, and pico is just a metric prefix, meaning 10 times 10 to the, I'm going to go with, I think it's the 12th. So you can see that that number would be very small in comparison with meters. There are 10 to the 12th picometers in a meter, so as you would expect, the radius of an atom is very small. So you're going to be looking at how the radius of atoms change both across periods and down groups. And the changes both across and down, you're going to need to think about how far away those electrons are from the nucleus. So you're going to be looking at the valence electrons, which are the outermost electrons, and their proximity to the nucleus, and what factors affect them by pulling them in closer or just where the energy level is.